And we are live. Welcome to Dynasty with Bindles. We are going to try to fill a Dynasty Superflex mock draft. Not sure we will be able to, but if we can, we will get it ripping. The link is down below in the chat. So if you want to get in here quick, and let's rip the intro. How is it going, ladies and gentlemen? How's your night going? How's your 4th of July going? We had a busy day at work today, but we're grinding. It's done. I'm living in Canada, so I had Canada Day off instead of 4th of July, but still American at heart. So had to celebrate with the mock draft. If you guys are not already in here, go ahead and jump in using the link in the chat to get into this draft. I don't have that much time. So if we can't fill it, we'll see. We can just let the clock run, but let's see what happens. So I haven't done a startup in a while. I did a lot in January, February, and March. And kind of the thing that I think has changed a lot in Dynasty over the last few years since I've been playing is I think the quarterbacks, especially the pocket passing quarterbacks, used to be pushed up. Even we saw last year, like a CJ Stroud in the first round, top 4 pick. Now he falls all the way to the end of the third sometimes. So the one that's still there is obviously Joe Burrow, and he had a crazy year last year. So, I mean, it makes sense. Not my favorite pick, but it's such a great time. I think it's very key to draft wide receivers early because after the top 12 to 15 go off, I think that's kind of where that equilibrium happens, where you can start to take some quarterbacks. But there's some pretty crazy values. We'll see what happens in this particular draft. But, I mean, you see Purdy sometimes fall, Dak, J.J. McCarthy, even like a Penix. And then there's some good quarterback values later. I had a video. If you guys have not already checked it out, I had a undervalued players video that I dropped about 10 days ago. So if you guys want to go check that out, I would appreciate that. If anyone has hopped in here that wasn't here before, there's a link in the chat below to go and join this draft. We'll give it a couple more minutes. Otherwise, we'll let some auto drafters get in just because I don't have a ton of time. It's kind of impromptu stream. Wanted to, celebrate for the 4th of July since I can't do underdog drafts here on Ontario. Do something. And then one last plug. If you guys aren't already in the Discord, part of the Bindles Brigade, you can either use the link down below, or you can scan that QR code on the screen right there. And we have 84 members right now, so creeping up to 100. And it's a great space. We have a lot of good fantasy football creators and Dynasty and Best Ball sickos in there that can answer all your questions. I just posted my updated Dynasty ranks that I updated literally yesterday. Not a ton of changes, kind of a slower period in the Dynasty offseason. But man, it's, hope you guys are enjoying your summer. And I think we're going to get started here, even though we didn't completely fill, just because I don't have a ton of time. Shout out to you, Bobbert23. All right, let's get going, guys. Um, okay. Well, I think it was set to one QB, so that's okay. We're gonna adjust. We got Bobbert on the clock here, so that's okay. ADP will be off slightly. My bad, but it shouldn't change things drastically. So we got graphic 13 going Jaden Daniels as the second quarterback off the board. And then we see, so Josh Allen goes to graphic 13, Bobbert, and then I am on the clock. I am going to go, let's see here. I'm going to go Hurts, and I'm going to go Puka here at the turn. I think Hurts, people always are disrespecting him. He kind of he's the rushing floor is so high. It was a historically low passing year for the Eagles last year. Their defense was so good. They ran so much. They were ahead by so much. Hurts still put up elite numbers as a quarterback, even with a very low passing yardage total. So, I mean, the rushing is still going to be there. Tush push did not get banned. Even if it does, probably hurts him slightly, but like I'm not going to be baking that in. And so yeah, he's due for passing regression. They have good weapons, and I am back up on the clock here. So let me get up and see what's going on. Let's see, running back here. I'm going to go Devin Achane. I think Devin Achane should be. Well, let's talk about Puka. So Puka, I think you can make the case for him up there with right below Jefferson and Chase. But I think if he has a year that I'm expecting this year, we could be considering that. But definitely, I would say him and Lamb for wide receiver 3 and Neighbors is a toss up. But here to get him at 2-1 is a huge win for me. And then I went Devin Achane over quarterback because like I was saying when I started, I kind of like to build some of these middle round quarterbacks out. I think that's a huge edge because you can get elite position players like a Puka, like a Achane, going one quarterback through the first 3 rounds and then coming back around. Even if you get a Geno or Matthew Stafford later on, I feel pretty good about that. So that's just how I want to build. And I think both Puka and Achane could be just like the guy you need. We saw Jonnu Smith get moved to the Steelers. Achane led the league in passing and in receiving in receptions last year. Let's see what's on the board here. Quarterback, Kyler Murray fell all the way here to the 4-12. And then let's go wide receiver here. Let's go Xavier Worthy. So yeah, I think Achane and Puka both could be around 23, 24 points a game. You could see a legendary season from Achane. He kind of has 2 outs, either, just efficiency and volume, which is like just that's a very, very hard profile to get. And then Puka, same thing. Like we saw Matthew Stafford, he's the kingmaker. I say that every stream, but he truly could just break fantasy this year, give you whatever, 23, 24 points a game, have kind of that Cooper Kupp from a few years ago season. Kyler Murray, we have, like I said, we have some auto drafters in here, so slightly changes things. But him, Purdy, Cameron Ward, there's a couple other quarterbacks that I like there. But yeah, if Kyler Murray falls there to 4-12, which, some people are kind of out on him. So that's an easy click there as your QB2. And then Worthy, I view him kind of at the top of this tier of after T. Higgins, kind of this Roma Dunze, Devonta Smith, Zay Flowers, Egbuka, Addison tier, because I do think if he kind of has a good beginning of the season, like he could just shoot up in value to like more 3rd round than where he's going now. I am back up on the clock here. No running backs I really like here. So I am going to go Chris Olave here. And then let's go Jalen Waddle. So these are two guys. Let me finish up on Worthy really quick. But yeah, Worthy, I think he just because he was a rookie last year, because it's the Chiefs, I do think he has a little bit more value ceiling than some of these guys that are a little bit more locked in second year, third year, fourth year players in that same tier, which is why I would put him slightly ahead. Um, Olave, I just think is crazily undervalued right now. Like he's such a good player. Obviously, the quarterback situation isn't great with Tyler Shuck, but he's a good enough player where like he can still probably outperform a lot of guys that are in better situations just with pure target volume and the fact that his talent is so good. And then Jalen Waddle, I took two Dolphins here, but yeah, I mean his situation only improves with Jonnu Smith moving on. If Tua is healthy and their O line is just like somewhat adequate, if it's not worst in the league, it's 20th worst in the league, then I think all the Dolphins are kind of mispriced and just a little bit undervalued just for kind of what they can give you. And it is very condensed, especially now with no Jonnu. Achane, Tyreek, and Waddle are going to get a lot of work, and I'm betting on that bounce back. Let's see what else is going on here. We got Graphic 13 going Josh Allen, Lad McConkey, Garrett Wilson, Tet McMillan, Tyler Warren, Loveland. So double tapping tight end there. And then going Jordan Addison, and then Alvin Kamara. So yeah, it's a little weird with all these auto drafters in here. I feel like ADPs are slightly off, but you know what? We're gonna roll with it. Graphic 13 doubling up, taking the value on Lawrence and McCarthy. Let's see, Bobbert here going Lamar, Brian Thomas, CJ Stroud, Rashee Rice, Zay Flowers, Caleb Johnson, Baker, and then Kincaid. I like all those picks. Yeah, I do think Stroud still has some value just in the fact that he can, he still is in a good situation. We're going to go our boy Jaden Reed here, and then let's see what's here at tight end. Let's see, running back, anything here that I like. Let's go Njoku. I'm a little bit above Njoku. But yeah, let's talk about Stroud again. I still think he's a very talented player, made the playoffs, which I mean is not a quarterback stat, but like he's a very good player. They had kind of a not very pass heavy offensive coordinator. And I just think they brought in a guy from the Rams to be the offensive coordinator. They're going to be a little more pass heavy. Drafted Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel to pair with Nico Collins. So I think they're going to be a little bit of a bounce back. I think obviously Nico is super expensive and the rookies are, not crazy expensive, but I think it's a good bet where they're going. And Stroud, I am comfortable, kind of in this third round, like I was talking about, making that bet. But I know sometimes he's valued even above that, still kind of holding on to that first 104, the fact that he was a second overall pick. So, yeah, and then Rashee Rice, super undervalued. Zay Flowers, pretty solid pick. I don't think he can go up in value that much, but good offense, good player. What else do we have going on here? We got Marty here going Gibbs and London. Okay, we're back up on the clock here. I think it's time for a running back. Let's go Bashal Tutin. I'm pretty big on him. And then there's a lot of receivers here I like. Let's go Juwan Jennings. I could have went him or Myers. I think those were the two. But yeah, it is as let's see. We got Disabled Danny here to give my thoughts. Shout out to Chris. Hope you are having a great 4th of July. Yeah, I was trying to explain Jackson and Stroud. I mean, I think it's fine enough, given the fact that Jackson, you could make the case for him 101. Obviously, we had the little mess up with Bijan and Chase going there, but you could easily make the case for him as 101. And then, yeah, Brian Thomas, great pick there. AJ Brown, or no, sorry, who's Rashi Rice, super undervalued. Caleb Johnson. I'm not as high on Caleb Johnson. I think he's still a good pick. He's a rookie running back in a historic class that everyone's been talking about. It's a good situation. It's not a great situation with the offense not being amazing. Do you guys want to run another one? Let's see. Maybe we can run another one really quick. But yeah, I'll go quickly through my team. Jalen Hurts, Puka Nacua, Devon Achane, Kyler Murray, Xavier Worthy, Chris Olave, Jalen Waddle, Jaden Reed, Njoku, Bashal Tootin, and Juwan Jennings. So let's see. Maybe let's do another one. Make sure it's on 2QB this time. And then let me share this link with you guys. If anyone else wants to get in here, then get in here and we can run another one if you guys are still in here. But yeah, Jackson, I mean, he's just a good pick. Stroud, not my favorite click. I'd like to kind of pass on that range of quarterbacks generally, but I don't think you can make the case for him. We got Fantasy Football Garage in here, AO, LFG, and then yeah, Olave, Waddle, Reed. Those are all my guys. And then Bobbert says, with the quarterbacks falling, I would have went someone besides Stroud if I could have it back. Yeah, I mean, we had the auto drafters, so we didn't really know what the hell was going on there. So fair, very fair point. But yeah, let's kind of talk about some of these guys that I drafted. Reed, I made in my Dynasty video that I posted a couple weeks ago. And I've been tweeting about him. Any and all places I will be talking about Jaden Reed. He is, just, I think, very undervalued. Like the Packers passing game, once Jordan Love got hurt, they were so run heavy. That is not going to be their plan moving on to this year. We don't just want to pattern match what happened last year onto this year. He's super talented. He scored a touchdown on 1 out of every 10 touches in his career so far. So just explosive, dynamic athlete. And in best ball spike weeks, but I mean, even in manage, like he's probably not going to score that many points. But the thing is like, yeah, the pass volume is going to be higher. If anything, I think Matthew Golden is a pretty similar replacement for Christian Watson in terms of the volume side of things. So he's just, good player, good offense. Let's not just bury him after, Jordan Love was injured. He was injured. I don't think that's going to necessarily be the thing that happens this year. Okay, you guys want to run another one really quick? We can. Let's do very quick clocks. Let's see if that will update, and then we can get started. All right, I'm gonna go Jaden Daniels here. Let's see, we got FFB A-Rod here, friend of the channel. He goes Lamar Jackson. We see kind of, we don't have the mess up like we had last time. So this is a little bit easier to track with ADP. We got Graphic 13 here. It looks like Graphic 13 is auto drafting. Bobbert here. So yeah, this is a pretty normal first round. Jaden Daniels, like I don't have that much of him in Dynasty. I have a lot more Allen and Lamar Jackson. So if I'm in a draft, this isn't a real draft, but if I am in a draft, I'm kind of preferring him over the other two because I think his ceiling is just as high. Okay, let's see what goes here. Let's go Achane again. Nothing. I mean, I could have went quarterback with Herbert or May, but I like the builds where we go one quarterback early and then take another one later on. We have picks at 4-1 and 3-12, 4-1, and 5-12. So we should be able to get another quarterback we like. let's build out a super strong roster. We have Jaden Daniels. Like he's going to be our quarterback one. We don't have to worry about it QB2 as much when that happens. So let's see what's going on here. We got Garrett Wilson. Let's go Travis Hunter, and then let's see what else is here. Anything else that super stands out? Let's go Garrett Wilson and Travis Hunter here. So get our first two wide receivers. Let's see what else is going on. We got A-Rod going, Lamar, Nico, Bucky, very on-brand draft. Travion Henderson, so all good picks at cost there. Nico Collins, I think, could be the wide receiver one. It's not, you wouldn't bet on it, but you definitely in his range of outcomes. Graphic 13 is back up here. We got Gibbs, Brian Thomas, Drake May, Chase Brown. So two super strong running backs that could score 20 points per game. Drake May as his quarterback one, and then BTJ just, set up for a monster year 2 here. Bobbert going, Neighbors, Puka, insane start that you can get that at the 1-2 turn. I think that's a huge edge there. And let's see. Okay, we are back up on the clock. Let's go Jordan Addison. And then let's see any running backs here that I like. Let's go George Pickens. And then let's...
I feel like J-Bo now, so I put shots on my new Rover. I'm staying up till I'm busy, about 2 blocks with all them overs. I fell in love with that year before I took Rocky to Minnesota. Get a hit to my little Ockers, why he got chopper on his shoulder. So I fried the plug again, and then again we did a repeat. Them lows come straight from Cali, so we pull up soon.
Had to roll the clip there. One of the best. So yeah, we have 4 wide receivers now. Travis Hunter, and okay, we're going to be back up on the clock. These are very short clocks. Let's go Devontae Adams, and then let's see, any tight ends here we like. Let's go Josh Downs. Very on brand. What was I talking about? Okay, yeah, so Bobbert went... Neighbors, Puka, Bo Nix, Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, Olave, and Golden. So pretty covered off at all positions. I like that. Not a huge Jacobs guy, but I mean, he's in a good setup. I do think he's a little bit overvalued just for the fact that, yeah, they're not going to be as run heavy, but it should still be good offense. He's not, so old. Let's see what A-Rod did. Continuing to grab value here. Worthy, Kittle, Kyler Murray falling to 7-7. That's some auto draft ass ADP there. But, what can we do? Maybe you can swap, one of the other earlier picks for one of these other guys. And then Rizzy Pearsall. I'm not as high on Rizzy Pearsall, especially over like a Reed, a Godwin, really a lot of these guys. I just think he's a fine bet if he's a little bit cheaper. But once you get to this range, it's pretty high cost. Let's go Jacoby Myers, and then any running backs here we like. Let's go Charbonnet. Yeah. So yeah, through 10 rounds, I have Jaden Daniels, Achane, Travis Hunter, Garrett Wilson, Jordan Addison, George Pickens, Devontae Adams, Josh Downs, Jacoby Myers. A lot of running backs. So we're going to have to grab a tight end here on the way back and a quarterback. So let's see what happens here. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I probably should have went quarterback or tight end there. It's quick clocks. But yeah, these are all guys. I think Addison is just a good player, good offense. George Pickens, I think, could shoot up in value a lot. He's still only 24. Highest pass volume of his career probably coming, and perfect setup with Lamb. Let's see, going here. I will have the last pick here, and then we will be done. Let's go quarterback, and let's go Geno Smith here. Let's see. We got Tyler in here. Yeah, the auto teams hate the QBs. Yeah, there's got to be some way to change that. Yeah, round 10 Purdy. Okay, so yeah, you know what? It's not perfect, but we're gonna do what we can do. Happy 4th to you, Tyler. Been loving the streams recently, and I hope you get some time off and touch some grass. Yeah, round 10 Purdy was crazy. So yeah, sorry, quick clock. So I probably should have went. Obviously, we could have got another tight end later on here, like a Goddard would have been fine. Jake Ferguson, guys that you can start every week. But yeah, all these receivers I think are just very good clicks. We got our anchor in Achan, got Charbonnet, and then you can just fill out your running back with flyers. Not worried about that. Geno is a perfect QB2. Obviously, all the quarterbacks got pushed back. He probably wouldn't go this late, but I think that's in terms of 80, in terms of the order of the quarterbacks. He's if you need a QB2 or a QB3 in Dynasty, go and get Geno. I don't think it's priced in. The fact that they're going to be running a ton of plays under Chip Kelly, Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, Jack Bash, even Dante Thornton. Pretty crazy collection of players there, and they're going to run a lot of plays. So it's just a great setup. Geno's always, since he kind of came back to life in Seattle, he's always been super undervalued in kind of all formats. And yeah, pretty crazy. Let's see. So what else? A-Rod went Pearsall. We talked about that. Tootin, I moved up in my rankings to kind of like early second range. It's a profile I want to be betting on. Jaguars offense with Cohen, it's such a good scheme to get the ball into the playmaker's hands. Hence why I took Travis Hunter there. He doesn't need to run all the routes. Same with Tootin. He doesn't need to get all the work. He can be a ETN or Bigsby working in. He can still pay off. And rookie running backs in a historic class, good offense, and just really, really explosive profile. I'm all in on that. Calvin Ridley, just very good flex filler, goes in the 50s on underdog. So, I mean, that's a fine price to pay for a guy who's 30, given the fact that he's going in the 5th round on underdog. And then Kelsey, whatever. It's another tight end. He'll be fine. You can start Kittle in your flex if you want, and then have Kittle in your tight end spot. That's perfectly fine. Graphic 13. We talked about these. Goes Harvey here. Good pick. T-Law falling to 6'9". Probably not going to happen, but, just flip these ADPs around and you can still make sense of it. Jalen Waddle, I was already talking about before. And Tucker Kraft, I have a tough time with Tucker Kraft. I just think I like the Green Bay Packers offense. Obviously, I like Reed. He's a fine click. It's just in kind of rankings on Fantasy Calc, on all these aggregate services, Keep Trade Cut. He's ranked pretty high, and I just think Njoku, Andrews are going to outproduce him by quite a bit, just because of the fact that Kraft isn't going to get that many targets. So it's very, very efficiency based. You're betting on just a huge amount of touchdowns, which for tight end to some extent is true for all tight ends, but I still think Andrews and Njoku, they're older, they're 29, but they can just get so many more targets that I think you can, I'd rather be pivoting off. And then Kraft also, I've made a lot of Kraft for Kittle deals, add on a couple other players. You probably can't get one for one, obviously, but add something like another player worth around a second, couple of thirds. I've done a lot of those deals, so I would implore you to do the same. JJ McCarthy 9-4. We're going to ignore that. And then Kyle Williams, rookie, pretty good setup there in New England. And then Rashid Shaheed, good flex filler. Don't love the offense. Would rather bet on Olave just for the talent. But I mean, Shaheed, when he was healthy, was doing great. And then Bobbert. Here, let's just check the comments really quick. Yeah, shout out to Chris B. Team 4 did get a great squad there. So let's do Bobbert's team really quick, and then we will get out of here. But Neighbors, Puka, great first 2 picks. Don't really need to talk about that. Bo Nix, he's a tough one for me. I just think he's still not that good of an actual real life quarterback, but system is good, better weapons. So not where I would definitely take May, Herbert, even Caleb, probably Stroud over him. But some people are not on him, so I don't know. I don't hate it. Jordan Love 412 is a great pick. Probably would go earlier. I've seen him fall mid 4th in some startups. Yeah, pocket passer doesn't run a ton, but should be a good offense. So, McAvey, Shanahan systems are guys you want to be betting on if they're pocket passers. So, good cost. We talked about Jacobs last time or a little bit ago. Don't need to Olave we talked about as well. Golden, shout out to Chris the Candyman. I'm in best ball. I'm more in than in Dynasty. I think he will be solid. But it's it's like Reed, but I think Reed we know is good, and he's just so efficient that even if there's less targets, he can pay off. Golden is going to be he's going to be an efficiency play. Nobody in that offense is going to get like a ton of targets. But yeah, I think I prefer Waddle, Hill, Burden over him, and Downs and Adams that I took, but it's a kind of a big clump of wide receivers there, all pretty similar. So if you like Golden, if he's your guy, if you believe in the talent, then go ahead and do that. James Conner, perennially just a good pick. Going to give you 15, 16, 17 points per game until the wheels fall off. So don't mind that at all. He still goes like pick 60-ish in underdog. Sometimes he'll fall a bit later. Andrews coming off a car crash. Still finished tight end 6. Very good offense with Baltimore. I don't think he's slowed down. He's still a red zone beast. And, it's between him or Flowers for the number 1 target, but still could be the number 1 target in a very high scoring offense. No more, I think it was same injury that Tony Pollard had. So, fully healthy year, no car crash. I think he's set up to absolutely smash. I would be buying him, but I already have 30% in Dynasty, so I can't buy him really anymore. And then let's ignore the Tua pick. And Jack Besh, this is probably around where he should be going. Jennings and Pittman around, the wide receivers around him, Ridley. It's a little harder to see the ceiling for him, but, mid-second round pick in rookie drafts, you get him at this area. It's probably a fine bet. But I do think kind of the camp news, everything is pushing him down a little bit. So I'd probably let him fall. You could probably get him later on. But any other questions in here? Any other Dynasty questions, anything? If you haven't already joined the Discord, go ahead, use that QR code, use the link below. If you're watching back after, we have the Ballsy show every Monday night at 9:30 p.m. This week we have Sacrilegious of Legendary Upside, extremely, extremely sharp guy. I drafted with him last year, but we're going to have him on. We're getting the clips flowing, having a good time. Hopefully you guys enjoy the vibe of that show. We go back and forth between me and Chris the Candyman, so be sure to sub to him as well. But yeah, guys, I got to get out of here. Have family coming into town, but hope you guys have a great 4th of July. Like the video, turn on the notification bell because I will sometimes do impromptu streams like this. And make sure to tune in to Ballsy. Let me pull this